Woke up this morning, coffee in hand, flipped on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with Obsidian and Flint, he's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the legends, ain't no turning back. With every sharp edge, he's teaching the on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds the magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground. Each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly. As the old world awakens, we question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. He's shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. It's Sunday night, natural tool night in horizontal format, 2-hour live stream, sometimes 3. But I don't think I'm going to go much over 2 hours tonight. I got to get up early tomorrow, as usual. On Mondays, I try to get the last minute stuff done for the auction. Stoneface is the first one. Hey, Jeff Baird is here. Jorge is here also. Sam Fulks, Graylin Landry, Clint Evans, hey. Stoneface, let's see. Alan Young is here. Mike Mason. Rodney Russell says, sup. Flake Scars, hello, hello. Let's see who else. Andrew Humphrey. Did I see you already? No? Hey. Chris Cox is here. Stoneface, Mike Mason, Jorge Valadez. Your Laughter is here. Explore Florida. Hey. Let's see. Who else? Killer Cork is here. Joshua Dean. That time of day again. Oh, yes. Prairie Ghost Ken is here. Hey, Ken. 1, 2, 3, guitar Dan. Hello, hello. All right. So, I'm going to get this party started already. I can't be wasting time tonight. Although, it's fun to sit here and waste time. Yes, it is. Yeah. Don't have to be so strict on time. It's more fun if I don't have to be so strict on time. We made this last night. Everybody was here, basically. Everyone that's in the chat right now was here last night. Just about. Anyway, yeah, this is heat-treated Georgia jasper. From, I don't know what area of Georgia, but this is also a couple of pieces more of heat-treated Georgia jasper. So, I don't know. This has got a little bit of issues in it. A little bit. So, I'm going to save that. If this one breaks, I'll nap that one. I got a bunch more in the box. Or the bin. I got a bunch of it, but that's for off-camera stuff because I don't want to break this. This is expensive. I actually bought this stuff. All right, so let's see. Am I going to use a new hammerstone? I have not used this hammerstone yet, I don't think. Let's see. Let's see what we got. No, it's too big. I need a littler stone. This is... Alan Cole sent me some of these lava rocks. They're lightweight, so it's pretty good. I don't know about durability. It doesn't look all that durable, but at least they're lightweight. Why is lightweight good? Because it makes my wrist less sore. Yeah. Heat treat is nice. I think I'm going to only do heat treats with my natural tools from now on. Yeah. We don't need a stinking rough, tough rock. Right? Right. At least I don't, right? I don't. I'm done with using really tough rock with the natural tools. Yep. I finished that stuff a long time ago. I said, no. Not necessary. I really don't like knapping raw stone with the natural tools. I don't like it. I'm neurodivergent, apparently, in many ways, you know. A lot of guys that use natural tools, they prefer the raw stone. I don't know if it's because of optics or just the, you know, sound of it. I'm working raw stone with the natural tools, with the antlers and hammerstone. So I don't know what it is, but if I'm honest with myself, I don't like working raw stones with the natural tools. I don't mind testing them out in the field to make sure that, number one, that they're knappable, and also to see if I want to bring it home. If it's really tough, but it's nice looking rock without many defects, I'll bring it home for heat treat. Yeah. If I'm going to use natural tools. If. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. What is this going on here? Just a random Bigfoot is here. Let's see, man. About all I do is knap raw stone with natural tools. Yes, I know. I've heard it before. I used to think that way too, before I knew any better. Yeah. You don't know how sweet some of this heat treat is. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe your stone doesn't need heat treat, but where I used to live, it needed it. Oh yes. I was knapping mostly gravel stuff when I lived in Texas. Until I met some generous friends, but it took a long time for me to meet other knappers because I was pretty much a lone ranger. Yeah. Finally got to meet lots of people. Anyways, I started with really tough stone and natural tools. Bull gravel. Some of the bull gravel heats up really good, in case you don't know. So I suggest you experiment. Yeah. If that's what you're knapping, if anyone in the chat is knapping raw bull gravel, most of it is agates, I think. It'd be best to heat treat that stuff and get good at heat treating. Yeah, sometimes it changes color and becomes really colorful. Marty Wybe is here. Jake was in his game tonight, huh? I didn't see. Yeah. I was busy doing other stuff today. Let me see. Let's see. Who else is in the chat? I'm looking in the chat, see who else is here. Okay, I see. Yeah, that's how I started. Yeah, it was Sweet Tricolor. That's what it's called. Parking lot gravel in San Antonio, Texas. That's what Your Laughter was knapping at first. Yeah, that stuff's dicey, but it can be napped. Yeah. There's a lot of parking lot gravel in San Antonio. You just got to find the landscape supply yards that supply the landscaping. That way you can sort through big mounds of it. Mounds of stones, as long as they allow you to go in there on foot. Some places are too big for that. They only allow heavy equipment in there. So you got to find one that's kind of like a mom and pop type of landscape supplier. So they'll allow you to walk through there. Yeah, that's good. It's sipping in the middle. It's not good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Surprise, surprise, it was better than I thought. I'm gonna try to thin this down. Make it look like we used modern tools to nap it. Yeah. Go through all the trouble of using natural tools and make it look like modern tools napped it. That's the way. That's the YouTube way. Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah, on YouTube they use, natural tools to nap stuff that looks like they made it out of modern tools. Yeah. That seems to be the way. And they use modern tools to make it look like they were using ancient tools. Isn't that the way? That's what I notice. Well, we're getting some weird results here. This is typical of heat treat. Heat treat is easy to nap, but it often ends up being weird. Yeah. That's okay. It is okay. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Like that. Oh, that's a natural crack in there. Dang. That's got patina on the inside. That means it was already there, that crack. But I don't see it go all the way through. But that's not a good sign. No. Maybe that's why it's being so weird. It's got some issues in it. This side looks okay. Let's switch over to a smaller billet so we can be a little more precise. Precision. Yeah, we're going to go to the islands on this one. Means I got to smack it harder than I should. Yeah. Get rid of that mess in there. I got to really smack it really hard. I've been just taking it easy on this. That's what I get for backing off. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get rid of the island first because it bugs me the most. The worst first. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, what I was gonna do, I was thinking about this the other day. I should show you where I'm gonna hit. When I was tutoring somebody at the Tennessee Classic this past May, I had an idea and I brought my markers with me and I said I'm gonna mark where I'm gonna hit to tackle these planks, these places. I'm gonna hit this thing right here or right there. I'm going to hit there or there. Give myself some room. Not the one in the middle though. See this little area in the middle, don't hit there. I'm going to hit there or there. These little strong spots. Now there's a dip right in before that, but I'm going to hit hard enough to scoop that out. Yeah, see that dip right there? That's usually a no-no, but I'm going to hit hard enough to scoop that out, theoretically. All right? So right where I put that black marker, that's where I'm going to hit. If all goes well, that's where it's going to end up. I'm going to try this one first, though. Let's see. That's where I hit, but it didn't do nothing. It didn't do anything. It just started chewing on the antler. Okay, hold on. See? That's how accurate you got to be. And did it do it? Yes. It did it. See, if I dig in enough, it'll scoop it out. Right? Right. If I dig in enough, it can scoop it out even though the surface is not perfect. Why don't I do that with copper and stuff? Well, I usually don't need to hit it that hard to get something to go, but with these antler tools, they absorb a lot of energy, so I gotta hit harder and scoop further. No, I don't need to hit that no more, but I'm gonna remove it anyway. I don't need that part of the edge anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get rid of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try hitting right here. But I'm not gonna hit up high. It's gonna be a little bit low toward the edge. Anywhere in this area. Okay, and then over here on this side, it's pretty no-brainer right there. I'm just gonna hit that to get rid of this. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna start hitting the other side over here. Hitting that right there. Hitting this right here. So I got spots. I got a plan on this side. But what was I going to do? Oh yeah, this is first here, this one. I should mark this better, but and I can hit anywhere along this, wherever I put the marker. I can hit there or anywhere in this area to blow some of that away. See how that works. And I can also hit this area here in there, but I've got to grind it first. It's too delicate right now to hit it. But if I explain everything like that the whole time, I'm only going to get 1/4 of the way through in 2 hours. Okay? One of the reasons why I don't explain it is because everyone has their own technique. And number two, it would take forever. It takes forever to explain it all. And then after I explain it, you don't listen. You don't do it. You just go back to what you were doing before. Right? Right. Now I missed and hit up here. I missed that and hit there because I'm a spaz. But it still did okay. So it's okay if you don't hit exactly. The next hit is going to be right here. Why did it change? Because this is delicate now right there. That's delicate. Because see that? It scooped it out right there. So I can't hit right there because it's too weak. So I'll move over a little bit. Right there. Why don't I grind it? Because I don't need to. I got another spot. If I didn't have another option, yeah, I would have to grind it. And I'm going to hit it like that. Yeah, see? That didn't need much force because we're up near the tip. It doesn't need much force to make those flakes travel. Now, I'm going to grind this edge. It's not already ground down, so I got to grind it. It's too delicate. So I'm going to make a pass all the way down. Right here, I'm going to hit there first. Somewhere in this area. Anywhere in this area is good. I'll maybe hit twice in that area. The next one's going to be... Oh dang, there's not much choice. I'm going to have to hit right here. Every other area is not good. It's got step fracture there. So if I wanted to hit there, it wouldn't go very far because of that step fracture. So the only good spot is right here. Anywhere along this area, but it's hard to reach unless I can turn the billet to get in there like that. Instead of hitting it this way, I can hit it this way. Yeah, but I'm going to hit this one up here first. Why? Because it confuses people, that's why. Really? No. I missed it, right? I hit, but it was still in the zone. Yeah, we're still in that zone, so we're good. Anywhere in that zone would work. Oh, we still got a crack in there. I'm trying to get below that crack. Trying to get under it. Look at that. That's not good at all. No, and it looks like it might go all the way through there. Unless that's a coincidence. That's not good. So now I'm just going to experiment and hit everywhere. See where that crack go. Nobody know. The next areas I'm going to hit right here. And this is still a good option. Nothing changed there, so I'm going to hit there. I'll try to get under these areas and try to get under that crack. I can hit there, anywhere along here. I can hit anywhere along the edge, doesn't matter. But it depends on what kind of flake I want and how long I want it. I got to hit the strong areas if I want a big flake. I can hit the weak areas if I want a little flake. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with the tip area. I hit a little bit too far toward the point, but it's because I'm a spaz. I'm not accurate. Now, let's see. I got to try to get under that crack. So I'm going to try hitting from this side. I can hit anywhere along here. I need to remove that, so I'll hit that. See what I mean, Jelly Bean? Actually, I can hit anywhere along this area here to try to get under that crack. I'm going to lose width. I mean, I'm going to lose length, yeah, but I need to get rid of that. You see where I'm going to hit? Just a lump that needs to be removed, so I can hammerstone that. I don't need to make a flake from there, but I need to make a flake from over here, so I'm going to grind it a little bit. Hit anywhere along that area. Let's see. Let's start and try to get under it. So I'm just going to keep hitting the edge until I get under that crack. Still there. That ran deep. See all that patina in there? So I can get an arrowhead out of this part. Yeah, out of this part. But that crack went all the way down in there. You can kind of tell by the difference in tone. This is dull and that's shiny. That means that crack went all the way, almost to the other side. There's no way we could have kept it in there. So we're going to, it's a beautiful color material, but I'm going to save this for later. Save the, semi-good flakes. We're going to try the other piece. This piece looks worse, but oh well. So what do I do? Well, let me remove the delicate areas, and I'll use a marker to show you where I'm going to hit. And then once you get the idea, once it starts to become repetitious ad nauseum, I'm just gonna nap without telling you where I'm gonna hit. So I'm gonna show you areas that are good for hitting at this particular stage. Anywhere along here. This is a good spot right there. It sticks out a little bit. These are not good spots. These are not good spots. These are not good spots. All right, so I could hit there just to get rid of the low area and bring it up higher. Get center line established. I'm already thinking about where the center line is going to be. I can hit downward along all this edge here, I suppose. Anywhere along there. But on the other side, there's a lot of places to hit. I can hit there, there, there. I can hit there and downward. I can hit anywhere here. This is especially good. Take some off of that. Hit it right there. I can hit this right there. I can even hit this on this side, going this way. I can hit this right there. Or I can hit up there. Just whatever suits my fancy at the time, you know, it's kind of random. Anywhere along here is good. Anywhere where it's low, I can hit there a little bit. Yeah. So just look around and see. Those are my opportunities. If that doesn't look good, well, it's not going to remove too much if I hit this down here. So I might just hit that and it blows everything away. And yeah, some of this is above center line, but it's going to hit into some chunky stuff. It's not good to hit anything along here because it's not going to go very far. It's too square. It's better to zigzag it. Instead of doing that, you just hit downward there and then zigzag. Okay, all right, let's see. I'll take the smaller billet just in case. Just in case that this has got some major delicate areas, or it might also be snapping halfish. Well, looks all right. See what I mean? I hit downward like that. I didn't hit exactly where the mark was. I marked the general vicinity. You don't have to hit, or marking it doesn't imply that's exactly where I'm going to hit. As long as I'm in the general vicinity, it usually works. I'm going to try to hit that little part sticking out right there. I hit it once, it was okay, but I need to remove more than that. Yeah, I suppose. I hit perfectly, but it didn't do much. Where else did I mark? On this side. Nothing. Nope, nothing. Except a little bit on this. Yeah. What about the other side? Well, I was going to hit this. This is on this side, so I'm going to hit that. Yeah. Is that it? I don't see any good areas, so let me flip it around. I'm going to hit some of this over here. I got it marked up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I got some issues in the middle for sure. So, yeah, I'm just going to proceed now because I think you get the idea, or you want more. Everybody wants more, usually. I'm going to hit downward here. Why? I don't know. It just seems like it's a good place. It looks pretty good. I'm going to hit that. Downward. I'm going to hit this. Downward. I could hit this downward, and then it doesn't matter what I do on this thick stuff. Yeah, it depends on where it is. Like if I'm holding it this way and I notice that, I'm going to hit downward. If I'm hitting this way and notice that, I'm going to hit that way. Yeah. Trim off some of the delicate areas and then go look around. I like this one here. So why do I like it? I don't know. I just do. I marked these two, right? I'm gonna hit them. That went flying because there's a defect that caused it to crack here too soon. I mean, too far in. So let's. There's no good opportunities now anywhere that I can see. Well, maybe this one. Maybe this one. Other than that, there's not anything good. I've got to change the edge a little bit. Lower it down. Why is it no good? Because I got to try to get under this stuff. That means I got to lower the edge toward that obstacle. Give myself opportunities all the way around. Because you never know. You could, they don't always work. I don't go, okay, that's going to require an exact hit right here, and it's going to work, and then we're going to move on to the next one that's going to work for sure. No. There's only try. There is no do. So there's a bunch of try spots. I'm going to try there. I'm going to try there. I'm going to try all these areas right here. I'm going to go to town on this side, this end on this. This is okay. This is okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to town on this stuff here and blast into that area. From over here. From over here. That's not good, but this is good. You get the idea? Why is this not good? It's too straight there, or 290-ish. This one gives me a little bit better area on the surface of the stone to latch onto. You don't want to, you can't latch onto something that's that steep or that much of a 90 because it just glances right off. I'm going to hit this stuff up here first. Why? I don't know. Trim. There's some bad areas there, so that's the future. I'm going to hit this area, see if I can knock flakes into there. That's my second option because, this is kind of nasty and step fractured right there. So any flake going into there is probably going to step also, but I don't care. We'll see what happens. Oh, it's not too bad. There's a natural crack in there. It did thin it down a little bit. What's my next option? Make it more narrow, and then the only place that's good as an approach to attack that is on this side. So I can lower this edge toward it, so send a flake in there maybe. A big old gigantic flake. Might take it out. This is bad, 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 this is bad. Everything is bad. Well, this is all junk, so this is a bad approach. The only approach is right there. That's the only approach we got. Unless we want to create a big stack, which sometimes we do. Just like you can sometimes make overshots, quote unquote, useful, you can make step fractures useful, quote unquote, if you manage to make them tall enough to smack the front of the step fracture to get rid of obstacles. That is possible. But I don't recommend it because oftentimes you end up being stupid. You end up smarting yourself into being stupid. Okay. So the only good approach is this one here. I'm going to make sure that's well ground and looking good. Looking good from experience, not anything else. Okay. Sure, you need a good strong edge, but it's, if I were to study that, it's not ideal. The more I look at it, the more I don't like that. But I'm going to hit it anyway because I don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to spend too much on this, too much time on this because it might be all messed up anyway. And yeah, I think about that when I'm napping it. So I missed it. I went too far up here. I should have gone down this way because I'm a spaz, right? but it seems to be okay. Let's see. We still have an approach right through here that looks reasonable. But I'm going to hit this way first. I'm going to hit down this way first because we're going to kind of zigzag it. I always like zigzagging, so I'm going to hit anywhere along here is fine, and then flip it over, and anywhere along here is fine. Maybe right about here. Anywhere that gives us an approach from here where there's not a definite wall or a cliff. This is bad, but it's not as bad as the other spots. If I hit hard enough, it might just smash all the way through. And first, I'm going to take this off. Yeah. See, that kind of changes the dynamic here a little bit. Or changes the edge a little bit. So it created a little zigzag. So I zigged, now I can zag. But it's kind of weak. But I'm getting closer to the obstacle, which is okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, it's not an ideal area, but I'm gonna hit it anyway. Okay, that's the only approach that I can see right now. Okay, so it went, but it went a little bit too far. But, you know, again, it's probably not gonna destroy everything. It just makes it more of a pain in the butt to knap, because I hate the overshot type of edge. It's not helpful at all. Unless you want a scraper, then it's really good. It's a scraper edge, but it's not a good to knap on it. It's really smooth, you know. You can't catch your tool on that edge. You got to rough it up, and you got to basically zigzag it because it looks almost like a square edge. And it's going to do this whether I use natural tools or copper. It's just messed up. Yeah. Heat treat made it better, but it didn't cure it. I'm looking to see what's in there. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, so we got rid of most of that stupid overshot edge. Now we're gonna go further in. Dang it. Yeah, after a few more good strikes, I'm going to go to indirect percussion. I just need a few more big flakes, and that's it with the billet. And I put my finger there so it doesn't wobble as much. Some people think I'm putting that my finger there for support. I don't use support. I just use a firm hold, but it's not flake support. So I put my finger there so it doesn't do this. if my finger's back further, it'll do this. So I put my finger forward. It's not because I'm supporting the flake, in case you might think so. Some of you guys already know. I don't use flake support. It's too much of a variable. If the flake runs good, I don't know if it's my finger doing it or just luck. So I don't use it, and I don't need to use it. Yeah, I'm not making things that look modern. That's not my goal. I don't use natural tools to make things that look modern. Yeah. Okay. So does supporting the flakes actually make things look modern? It makes you do persnickety things. Yeah. These little persnickety little maneuvers with your fingers makes the result look more persnickety. And this was going to be a problem anyway. You can see how it's all kind of I think it's overheated on this particular one. There's some weirdness in there. It's not only got junk in it, but it's just weird the way it broke. So that means there's some kind of stresses in there. It doesn't look like it was cracked to begin with, but when it breaks open and you see all that weirdness, that means it's probably stressed with too much heat. I mean, I can make little bitty arrowheads with these pieces, perhaps. Also, we'll save them. What's next? How about a more solid piece? This one looks more solid, but I was thinking it's too good for us. Yeah. Earlier when I was looking at this stuff, I'm saying, man, this is a little bit too sweet. Use natural tools and mess it up. I don't know. So we shall see. We may not have any choice but to use some of the best material I have. That can probably be saved, I guess. I don't know. It's a little bit too small. See, these are a little bit too small, but I end up saving those anyway. I don't know why. I can save this one for sure. What else is in here? I'm going to sort through these. Sometimes I throw these in a box for giveaways. Yeah. But I'm going to throw all this in together. After the live stream, I just throw all this in a bucket and sort it later. Yeah. Okay, so we're probably going to do something with this. I don't think this is going to break up on us. I'm going to check the chat. Let's see, where did I miss? Let's see, Chief Cowie, and that's where I start saying expletives. Mac Bales just arrived. You missed it. You missed, like those Rock'em Sock'em robots. Bobby Estes, Aaron is here. Aaron Estes is here. Let's see. Talking about weather stuff and squirrels. What else? Let me see. Yeah, squirrel feeder. Hello, Patrick. Says Jimmy Stone Age. I made a little cahokia today while I was working. While you're working? Uh-oh. So, let's see. Coyote's Bent Stick says, okay, Georgia Jasper. Yeah, I just massacred the Georgia Jasper. And we dodged the bullet because I wasn't going to be gentle with it. That stuff would break once it starts getting real thin during the final stages after I spend an hour on it. I don't want it to break after I spend an hour on it. I want it to break before that. Let me see. Just a random Bigfoot's here. I already saw you, I think. So, who else is here? CEX. I swear in apocalyptic time, parking lots will be a haven for flint. Yeah, they're going to be gone very quickly. All the flint can be picked up from an average parking lot in about an hour by these very competent rock hounds. I mean, all the nappable stuff on an average size parking lot. Anything else? Anything else? AM Outdoors is here. Okay. If you got questions, now's your chance. Rainbow Ridge, West Virginia is here. Hello, hello. Ken Winton is here. That's it? Oh, we got 45 people. That's good enough. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. That's good enough. They're missing all the marks I put on the stone where I was going to hit. People say, how do you know where to hit? At least you can show us. Yeah, I mean, I can show you where I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit all kinds of places. So a lot of this stuff looks pretty good. Yeah, some of it I don't like. Some of it I do like. Places to hit. Sometimes I can't reach the places I want to hit. Sometimes the places I want to hit are not that smart. Like that's not that smart to hit there. But I think that'll do something. Anywhere along here. But this I can't hit anywhere. Not from this side anyway. I can hit from this side going this way. Run that little ridge. Over here I can hit this side and run that little ridge. Just ridge this side, ridge that side, and it kind of collapses that. Yeah. What else? Well, when I flip it over, I can hit there. Go that way. Hit there and go that way. Thin the ends first. That's the main goal. I can kind of hit that one. I just got to abrade it more, I guess. I can hit this going that way, even though it's above center line. I don't care. Sometimes I can hit along this edge. Anywhere there. Where else? This is good. Yeah, like I already marked it there. I can hit it anywhere along there. Yep. So that's how I see things. That's a view of my world right there. Yeah. Okay. Start with the ends. I don't start with the middle. Some guys, especially new guys, will start in the middle. That's a no-no. Never, ever start in the middle. Unless the ends are already thinned down, then yeah, you can start in the middle. Well, we got ourselves our first issue, but I don't think we'll need a tissue. And the method, not the method, but the force I use is always different depending on the size of flake I want. Bigger flakes, harder, faster hit. Smaller flakes, not so hard and fast. But the speed is always fast. It's just sometimes faster than other speeds. It's other times. Yeah. But yeah, it's always fast. Just not as fast sometimes. Depending on the size of flakes I want. I run into trouble when I start backing off on the speed. Okay. So I watch that. I try not to be too gentle with it. Because I run into problems when I'm too gentle with it. But yeah, sometimes I back off on the speed. I know I say I hit hard or harder. It's general statements. There are always exceptions. But not very many. Yeah, see. Even if it's the tip, I still hit pretty hard. I was just testing that. Because if it's all crunchy, sometimes pieces fly out that were incipients. sometimes there's incipient pieces in there that need to be driven out. Yeah, like that. I can save that. You always have to drive out the incipients. That was a low-hanging fruit. That was supposed to be a nice flake. But there's issues. Zigzag that. Now what's it mean when I put my fingers close to the edge? That's so it doesn't do this. I don't support any of these flakes. If you see that I'm supporting, it's incidental. If you see that I'm supporting any kind of flakes, if you notice that, oh, that's definitely support. I'll remind you. It's incidental, not intentional. So yes, I don't deny that there is support, but it's not intentional. It's incidental. Okay? I don't think about it. Where are good spots? There's no good spots, really. This is a little bit small. This is more of a job for indirect percussion than a billet, because, you know, with a small piece, the accuracy, the lack of accuracy really makes a big difference. And not in a good way. Yeah. See, I don't want overshots. I want those. Those are good. Even though that overshot might have cleared out this stuff, I want to do it my way. I don't want the overshot to choose how much of the edge goes away, because it always chooses badly. Yeah. Of course. As long as I get rid of the mistakes in a stone or the bad parts, it's going to be sweet. Dang, I overshot. No, I mean, I went too high, maybe. Or there was just cracks in there to begin with. See, I was just supposed to take some off the end here. And that's it. But look at that. It's a crystal pocket. So we don't need that anyway. That had to go anyway. Come on. It's not going to do it. It's hard right there. Come on, I heard you do something. Yeah, you did something. This one, I think, is overheated also. Yeah. Could I have saved that? I could have saved that with copper, yes. The antler pulls a lot. But it's okay. I can use those. Next. We're just gonna go through these one at a time. Oh yes. These might all be overheated, but it's all right. Yeah, there might be some in there I can save. And the debitage, like that. This might actually be too cruddy. No? We'll see. See, I don't know about this stuff. Yeah, this stuff looks good, but it's very grainy. Yeah. I'll save it, but it's very grainy. Even with copper tools, it's not going to be easy. If none of this works, I'm going to use one of my bifaces that I already made up. I got a whole basket full of bifaces of different stones. If this is not going to work. And no, I'm not worried about breaking this up, because apparently it's just an overheated batch. Which is fine. Sometimes it happens, right? I'm trying to think if I got these for free or not, or put in there as just fillers after I bought the main batch of heat treat. I think Jeff might have just threw a bunch of these in there as fillers. I bought a whole bucket. See, we're going to have issues. With this right there. So this is not easy, but at least it's not chewing on my tools. If this was tough stone, I would probably already have cracked this. But it's minimal damage to my tools. In case you're wondering. That's another reason why I like heat treats. It doesn't damage the tools nearly as badly as raw stone. Yeah, I can use some of these little flakes. Okay. And again, I've tried for many years to be more accurate with the billets. To no avail. This is as accurate as I can get. Yep. And I get comments like I should prepare the platforms better. But, you know, comments like that happen because they haven't been watching the channel. They know that if I prepare a platform, I just wipe the platform out. Nothing happens. And the platform's not on the edge anyway. If I isolate part of the edge and then hit that isolated edge, it just blows that part away. I rarely, if ever, get any success from isolating spots along the edge. See, that's isolated and I hit it, but didn't do anything. That's a little bit better. See, isolate that too. It's not doing anything. Okay. I can have better success when I isolate if I use copper because it's a little bit more precise. But I'm not depending on the isolation, I'm depending on the precision of the strike. I need to hit this extremely hard. It's not going to do it. So, let me see. I got to think of something else. Yeah, we're going to put this away because I'm going to end up probably breaking this. This is tougher than the other ones because it's got a little bit more of this grainy stuff in there. So it's not yielding at all. So I'll have to knap that with something else in order to not waste it. So we're going to try a different thing here. Try doing this other strategy. Yeah, my wrist is already feeling that. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with the Georgetown. Okay. I can't tell which ones are heat treated in there, so I'm just gonna go with the what would be the least troublesome raw stuff. It's still going to chew on my tools, but at least not as badly as other stuff. Have I been using that? I think I've been using this. I've been cheating. Didn't even think about it. Okay. So I have a new hammerstone. Hopefully this will be okay. Why hammerstone? I don't know. I'm just going to try it. Just going to try it. Yeah, it worked okay. Yeah. Okay. This one's not as tough as the other lava rock or whatever this is. So there's a lot of dust involved with this particular stone. This particular stone produces a lot of dust, but it's okay. It does grind the edge all right. It just very dusty. What's that got to do with anything? Well, it's not good to breathe the dust, and then it wears out fast. The more dusty it is, the faster it wears out. All right, that's what that means. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat. Let's see. Just a random Bigfoot. I never napped any obsidian or novaculite. I didn't really like how brittle the glass was to nap, so I figured I wouldn't like obsidian. Yeah, you wouldn't like it. Yeah, novaculite is snapping halfish, so just watch out. Leave it thick to begin with. Novaculite is very snapping halfish. Just fair warning. No, it's not. Okay. Just a random Bigfoot. This is all just Georgia jasper heat treat, but I think it's been overheated. Let's see. But not too badly overheated. It still works for smaller points. Much respect, sir. New subscriber. Thanks for the education. You're welcome. The live stream's not over yet. We still got like 45 minutes. I'm gonna continue to nap that piece. And yeah. Some guys want to know what something is called so they can avoid that particular material. That's not a good policy, right? You should try it anyway. Don't dismiss stuff because you never know, it might be compatible with you. Yeah. I mean, obsidian and glass is very similar, but there's dacite obsidians. There's other kinds of obsidians. They're not just glass-like obsidians. There are some that is more grainy in there, like the black butter stuff. I don't find any glass that's like that. It naps a little bit differently than glass. Okay, so just try everything. Yeah. If I tell you what it is, and you're looking at this and going, "Dang, that's too brittle," you may get a batch that's not too brittle. Okay. I just have a batch that's really brittle, which I don't mind it because I like making small points out of it anyway. Just the big points are easier to display and to work with on video. You know, to display on video and work with on video. The little ones, I like making them more, but it's a little bit more difficult to handle them in the video. It's because I got to get up close, and a lot of times that focus is not working right. Okay. I took the glove off because, I don't know. I thought I'd have an answer to that, but no. I just felt like taking my glove off. I'll leave it off until I get cut. How's that? I am feeling some of those flakes hit my finger. So I'm backing off my fingers a little bit. No. It's slipping. I had to dig in really deep so it wouldn't slip. It's not always a good idea. It removes a lot of the edge when you dig in deep, when you put the flaker high up on the edge. It prevents slippage, but then you get a lot of pull. You get a lot of edge removal. It's dicey. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So from here, it's going to be very tedious. Okay, so just so you know, this is going to get very tedious because it's already thinned down pretty much where it's going to stay. So everything after this is nothing but cosmetic and persnickety stuff. Okay, and it could take me like an hour and a half to finish, depending on how tough it gets. As this gets thinner, it gets more crackly and more finicky in most cases. Now, hopefully this won't do that. But if it does, it'll take me even longer to finish it. Yeah, you just, for those who are new, you just saw the fast part. Now comes the slow part. The hardest part of Flintknapping is coming up. I'm now into the hardest part of Flintknapping. And it's going to be slow going, because the slower you go, the less fudging there is. Up to a point, right? If you start getting too tired of it or sick of it, then your Flintknapping is going to go downhill. What did they do back in the day? They didn't fuss over little defects. In order to speed up the process, you just leave the step fractures in there, you leave the wonkiness in there, you leave some of the thickness in there, and you just make do with what you got. The damage control on the artifacts is not that intense in most cases. But when you think about the 1% that are really nice, if that's what you're thinking about, what I'm saying is going to sound false. But if you look at the majority of artifacts, once they got to a certain thinness, they just left it regardless. They didn't persnickety the edges and surfaces and all that. Not in most cases. And it wasn't a lack of skill, it was a lack of time. Or, you know, if it functions, it functions. It doesn't need to be perfect. It might not only be a lack of time, but just lack of necessity. These things, you don't need to make them all that perfect in order to work well. But the longer I take on these, the better they look. Okay. And the more material I use, the better chances of me coming up with one that looks pretty good. I might snap it in the pursuit of making it look nice. Yeah, it starts getting really crackly and sticky. The flakes get sticky when it gets that flat. And that happens with copper too. Yeah. So the procedure now, after I got it to the proper thinness, it'll fit in the haft. It's just to pressure flake it and put notches in it and do some damage control or some cosmetic work with more percussion flakes if I can see a good convexity in a trouble spot. See, the trouble spots are all kind of crunchy, right? If in the process of sharpening it and shaping it, I see a nice convexity through an area that looks bad, I'll take another percussion flake. But right now, I don't see any other options for more percussion right now. But as it gets narrower, opportunities will present themselves. I don't like to intentionally make opportunities because then if they don't work, it usually messes the edge up. Okay? It's better just to go and sharpen it and shape it, and then maybe there's opportunities. Maybe. If there isn't if there's not opportunities and there's still some junk in the middle, I just leave it. Okay? That's the solution. If the opportunities do not present themselves, then you just got to live with what you got. Yeah. Just like they did back in the day. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. The Feathered Frontiersman is here. One turned out okay, not practical, just really mean looking. I broke other and made a tiny point. That one turned out quite good, something I can actually use. Also, excuse me. Let's see. Feathered Frontiersman, I realize that I'm much better at starting than finishing. I really need to focus on my final geometry, notching and sharpening. AM Outdoors, unfortunately not seeing any honeybees in my area this year. Yeah, the insect populations are pretty devastated here as well. I saw one firefly in the backyard so far, and maybe two on different days. For example. Mr. Jim got 19 boxes of honey. Wow. Is that a main beam of antler you're using for indirect? Looks mighty thick to be a tine. Just a random Bigfoot. Didn't I already say that these are all axis deer? All this stuff is axis deer, except for the ones that are elk. Like the mallet I use is elk antler. Everything else is axis deer. Well, maybe not everything else. This is whitetail. I use this as a billet. These two are the only thing I think is not axis deer. Haven't I said that many times? I am not criticizing you for, I'm not saying you didn't listen. I'm just wondering, I don't even know if I've said it enough times. These are all, no, this is not. This one is a tine. I just don't know where I got it from. I don't think I was using this one. I think I was using, these two are axis deer. You can tell by the little vein hole. This one, I don't know what this is. It might be like an elk spike, but I don't know. I tend to not use elk for for indirect percussion like this. It's probably a whitetail tine. This is for indirect percussion, but I haven't used this in a while. So put that away. But all these other ones are axis deer, as far as I know. And if I have not said that enough times, I apologize. Axis, A-X-I-S, axis deer. Indirect, you were using it from the tine or the main beam. Well, let's see. This is a main beam. All of these are main beams. Yeah, I'm not using any axis deer tines. All of these are from the main beams. Yeah, I had a bunch of main beams. I had some tines also, but they're wonky. I cut the tines off and I threw them in a bucket. So I'm using all main beams. Why did I take the tines and throw them in the bucket? Because they usually are really crooked. They're like zigzaggedy almost. I think this might be a tine as a pressure flaker. This might be the only tine that I'm using from the axis deer. Yeah, I think this one is a tine. Yeah, I think that's the only one. This is a main beam. This one actually might be whitetail, this little pressure flaker. But these are axis. So, hold on a second. I know this is axis. This one says Iowa, so that's whitetail. These are whitetail. Yeah. Dang. Okay, so most of this is axis. And there's only one tine tool. That's it. That's elk pressure flaker. These are whitetail and elk. Okay, so these are all main beam stuff except this one. This is all main beam axis deer antler except this one, and this one's main beam plus a part of a tine. Yeah. Did I monetize this by accident? I hope this is not monetized already. Let me check this live stream. I'm supposed to have demonetized a live stream by default. Hold on a second while I try to check. Well, yeah, it's not showing up here. Why doesn't it show up? I don't know. I got to look into that. It's supposed to be demonetized by default. If it isn't, then something's up with your YouTube. It's not supposed to be showing ads. I have to manually monetize my videos because I have a default to post them non-monetized on the live streams, right? Well, on the auctions too. I don't know about the other ones. I'm pretty sure everything that I upload is demonetized until I actually specify it. Yeah, I can't tell on the live stream if it's monetized or not. I'm not getting any ads. When I look at my live stream myself, I'm not getting any ads, but I have YouTube Premium. KRYT5. I'm assuming that old weathered deer sheds aren't as durable as fresh. You are correct. They are not as durable. But it depends on how old the sheds are. If you watched them fall and then ran out there and grabbed one, it's pretty good. But if they've been sitting out in the weather for a couple of days or weeks, they deteriorate fast. They might not look deteriorated, but they start to, I don't know if they break down or what, or dry out or something happens to them. They get kind of soft. Let's see. Let's see. Anything else? Any questions? Now's your chance, because I'm not going to look at the chat for a little while. Okay. All right. Yeah, this Georgetown is okay. It gets on my nerves. Georgetown in general gets on my nerves, because it naps really well at first, and then it turns into crunchy pudding and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just annoying. Only the best Georgetown doesn't do that, and this is obviously not the very best. Okay, so let's see. Pressure flaking. Now let's see. I'm going to use my deer pressure flaker. I think I'm going to use this one. I got a better leverage with this one just because of the handle. See, I want some longer flakes. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can do some damage control with longer flakes. Yes, maybe. Sometimes, once in a while, but not today. No. It's not supposed to take the strength of 10 men to do this. It's not too bad. Yeah, not too shabby. As far as pressure flaking goes, I think we're all right. Do I have to get far away from the camera? Is it going to be messing up on us? I still can't do it. The tips are still... There's always something with the tips. Always something. See, what is that? I don't even know what type of flake that is. It's not a step fracture. It's just, instead of going toward the center, it just goes in its own way. That's why I say that the flakes just do whatever they want. See, these are fine. I don't know what it is about the very tip. It's just coincidences, right? I'm just going to say it's coincidence. Either that or autism. Because that one did okay. I tried to do that up here and it didn't work. Why? I have no idea. If I knew why, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. It's chewing on the antler. Oh, yes. Yeah. Why do I keep grinding the edge over and over? I'm trying to thin the edge down. I'm not getting the flakes I need to thin it. I mean, trying to thin the body of the point down, not the edge. I'm trying to thin the point of the point. And I need longer flakes than what I'm getting. So if I don't get them, I got to regrind and try it again until I get them or it breaks. See, I should be able to go more than halfway with these pressure flakes because it's only a short distance. But for some reason, the autism must be interfering with my ability to do the tips. I can't think of any other reason. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to take a year off and do nothing but tips so that I can figure it out. Just like I did with step fracturing. I should. And no, doing it in conjunction with all the other stuff that I do, it doesn't work. I just got to focus on one particular type of technique. Like I focused only on step fractures for a whole year. Okay? So if I want to get good at doing tips, I got to focus. Maybe not for a whole year, but I've got to do only that, and that's it. I don't have the ability to do that anymore. I've got to make sure I do everything all the time. So it's just a dream I have, yeah. To take time focusing on just one technique, one aspect. Those were the days. Those were good old days. And no, it doesn't work to do just one video every now and then. I've got to work on the same technique for days, weeks, and months. Over and over and over and over and over again. Because it builds subconscious decision making I don't want to have to think about this whole process every single time. I got to rewire the brain to do it. I don't have to remember steps or nothing. Just, okay, I know what to do. It's just muscle memory. Just do it. Just like step fracturing. Or the prevention of step fracturing is just muscle memory now. I know when something looks good and when it doesn't. Yeah, to the best of my ability. If I do still get step fractures, it's because that I'm not that talented. Yeah, there's only so much you can do. There comes a time when I'm just not skillful, or just not naturally coordinated enough. And that's, I know my limits. Okay. Yeah, like that. See, that opportunity presented itself to eliminate some of those crunchy spots. There might be another opportunity right here. Come on. It was too good to be true. There's no other good opportunity. I gotta futz around with the edge. Something about the edge right there. I've hit edges like that were that ground down, but just for some reason that one didn't work. I can send another flake in this way. Yes, okay. It was chewing on the antler. Okay. Yeah, like that. A little bit better. Just a little bit better. Dang. Okay. Sometimes the flake's a little bit too easy. No. What's up with you? Looks fine to me. Oh. There it goes. Yeah. Try to get it smooth. It looks like it's all right. Except when it crushes. Except when I get crushing it. I think it's because it's just a fat tip. That one is easy to figure out. That crushing is due to fat tip syndrome. Yeah. It's got to be fat so it won't break. I'm putting a lot of pressure behind it. Yeah. To get the kind of flakes I need with antler is so tedious. I should just do the whole thing with percussion. Where did it go? Funny how it always ends up being around. If it's funny how it always ends up being around the same size. So, you know, a flat tool helps to prevent that crushing along the edge. Yeah. It's already pretty thin. I can go back and fix all that, but artifacts have those little step fractures. That's just the fat tip. Fat tip step fractures all along the edge. Yeah, I can't seem to get rid of them. They just keep, you know, they just keep persisting. One little step fracture can lead to many others. Yeah, that's all right. I should do as much as I can with the percussion on this. The pressure flaker is working well, but it wears me out too fast. I'm already sick of the pressure flaking. I see what you're going to do. I knew what you were going to do. Did I really know that? No, I did not know for sure. It's like, but of course it does that. Of course it does. It's a law of averages. Can't get away with this. It doesn't let me get away with nice stuff, so it's going to take it out on this side. Oh, you don't want to do it. Nope. It doesn't want to do it. It's so stubborn. Dang it. That's all right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's generous. If that works, it's going to be very generous. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to do it. No. going to make me break either the antler or the stone. What am I trying to do? I'm trying not to do that. I changed the position on it, and I did that. I changed it on purpose, yes, but that edge should go. It should, but it's not doing it. It wants me to hit harder than I need to, and it's going to break it. So that's it. That's the end of that. That's the end of the thinning. I'm just going to try to repair now this little booger I just made because it didn't want to do it. It was going so well, too. So you thought it thought it was tough. It just didn't like the percussion flaker. Something wrong with the tip of the percussion flaker or something. Because see the pressure flake did it, but the percussion flaker wouldn't. That might be something wrong with the tip of the percussion flaker. All right. Yeah, it's not going to do it. All right, so I can't leave that in there, so I'm going to remove it with copper. I'm not getting any cooperation with the antler. And if I narrow it down like this with the antler, it's going to snap it when I start to drive more flakes in. You know what I mean? With copper, I can drive flakes in and it won't snap. Yeah, the width does strengthen it. Okay. Well, I'm going to be doing some repairs here along the whole edge. I get highly impatient with this stuff. Yeah, they did. No, not like that. Okay. So the way I'm using this tip here, this is usually my notcher, right? But when the edge is stubborn, downward flakes to remove little flakes, downward pressure to remove little flakes. And then bigger flakes, I push in 90 degrees. Instead of pushing down like this, bigger flakes, I push like this. Now, it's more narrow, but since it's wider, it's less prone to break. Okay, I just don't like using my notchers for this kind of stuff because it wears them out. But I can generate some, pretty reliable flakes by focusing the energy, whereas a more rounded tip disperses the energy. Okay, so I can push in by using this vertically, so to speak. But like I said, I don't like using my notchers for that because it wears them out. But, gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, so if it becomes crunchy pudding on the edges, I just take the notcher tool or the spatula tool and just press downward. It doesn't remove big flakes, but at least they don't step fracture or crunch. And then longer flakes, I use it like that, right? Did you get that part? Let's see, what's in the chat? What did I miss? Yeah, those Ishi bear hunting points, yes, were oval shaped. Let's see. Don't you have this book, Mike? Gotta have it available at all times. Okay. Gotta go through the whole book. Here it is. These are the various shapes. Now, I think the smaller ones were for bear. These here. Got it? They're basil notched. Basil notched. Cubic plays. This is Yahi Archery by Sexton Pope. It's in the public domain. So it's very cheap. Do not spend money on it. What kind of Texas points can we do with this size of preform? Yay, Abasolo. The first dart point in the book is the Abasolo. And you thought that my knappings are small. Look at these. Look at these dirty knees. You think mine is small? Look at these. These are actual size. One day I'll do one of these. They're not that much bigger than what I got. I can do one of these. Angostura. Yeah. Arenosa. How about a bandy? It's too narrow for a bandy. Besides, bandy has these big old pressure flakes. I don't know. Like one of these days. I'm getting live stream fatigue. Let's see, what would be interesting? I guess I have my favorites because none of these are appealing to me. Darl? Look how small the darls are compared to this. Deli. Just put one of these kind of stems on it. Yeah, put a deli stem on it. You don't have the book, Mike? It's cheap. And you can, no, it's even free. You can download free PDFs of that book from a website. Just look up free PDF of Yahi Archery. I think it's Gutenberg Project or something like that. ProjectGutenberg.org has free copies of it. Project Gutenberg or something like that. I could make an insort, but it's still too big. Well, no, it's not too big. Could be that insort right there. I could make that one. Or Evans, you know. Evans, yeah, these are supposed to be thick, though. Yeah, and I can use a notch-o-matic on these and make them during a normal day. This suffering stuff wears me out. Suffering with the natural tools. Yeah. The earliest form of flake over perfect preform. And look, not all the Folsoms are really big. In fact, most of them are tiny. 3/4 inch wide by 2 inches long. And the ultra thin bifaces. You think they made these with jigs? Most people think these were made with maybe some sort of jig. What about these? They got these really thin. Did they use jigs on these too? I don't think so. But that's just me. Okay? That's just me. I don't know nothing. I mean, it's possible. But, you know, how did they make the ultra-thin bifaces? Riddle me that, Batman. Yeah. People probably hate it when I say that. That's why I don't get many views. But we got 43 very loyal watchers. Keithville looks like that, whatever I made. Keithville is a Texas version of this thing. Hardaway? Yeah, Keithville is like a Hardaway, but from Texas. I don't know. It's late paleo. This is late paleo Indian, so I don't know. I don't know if Hardaways are late paleo. These are late paleos? Yeah, those are late paleos. It's morning. Good morning. Smell the coffee. Look in books. Yeah, it's time to look in books and smell the coffee. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. For once? No. I'm just going to make one of those darls or something. Ensors or darls, I don't know. I just remember the shape. Why am I not using the other flaker? Because I don't like using my notchers for this. I'm about to start using the notcher, but not for this. Okay. Perfect. Beauty. I didn't cut myself. I'm amazed I didn't cut myself on that one. Usually when I use a lot of force, something happens to make me cut myself. We can't see the progress without the black background. It is progressing, although it might not be symmetrical. Oh well. Yeah. Like that. Can't remember if this thing had serrations, a little bit of serrations on the side, or just they were just kind of jaggedy edges. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I won't mess with it. It's telling me not to mess with it. But I want to sharpen it. It says I'm too dangerous with this antler pressure flaker. I gotta learn how to drive with it first before I start putting my foot on the gas pedal. I don't know how to drive with this pressure flaker. Anyways. Does it look like that? I don't remember how they look like. Probably got more of a pointy ear on it instead of a curly up ear. Probably more like that. Okay, so that's good enough. Yes, yes. I'm curious to see how large the hafting area is. No, not that one. Yeah, it'll fit it. It's something like that. The neck is perfectly sized for that knife handle. I have other things in here. Oh, that looks okay. Yeah. That looks all right. I kind of like that one. What's this one? A little bit more narrow? Yeah. It's also a bit... Oops. I split the notch. That's what I get for forcing it. How about this? How about that? It's too thick for this one too. Dang it. Yeah, it won't fit all the way down to the bottom. It's too thick. I need to flute it. Yeah. Do we do a thinning flake? How badly did I crack this? Or did I crack this? Did the stone break? I can do a couple thinning flakes from the base. Yeah. A couple or 3 thinning flakes from the base. Where is it? I threw the file back in here. Hold on. This is my time to practice stuff, okay? All right. These Saturday and Sunday live streams are supposed to be practice for natural tools. Yeah. So why am I using copper? I get impatient. Oh, yes. If I go any further, it'll be a Frio. There we go. Come on. I know you can do it. It gets so sticky when it gets thin. All right, whatever. Where's the background? So I just made it more concave on the base, so didn't change it all that much. Made it thinner. Let's see. Let's see if it fits into our favorite heft. Yes, it does. Okay. That seems to be our favorite foreshaft because everything fits in there, basically. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, that's it. That's it. I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, that's it. Put those tools away for next week. I'm feeling better already. Oh, yes. I'm getting cheerful putting these away. I know it's not fair. It's not fair to the natural tools. I know. They get a bad rap. I just get impatient. I didn't use pointer. I didn't use pointy this time. What does Pointy think of this episode of Natural Tools? Thumbs down. Yeah, not too good. Not impressed with this one. Too much reliance on copper and too much complaining. I do like it though. Yeah, that darl or the ends are very efficient looking points. Okay. Let's see. Man, excuse me. I'm yawning already. Okay, let's see what we got. Any questions? If there's questions, better ask them before I sign off. Good night, everybody, says Stoneface. Thanks for the lessons, says Great Fishing. Have a good night, everybody, says Marty. Yep, good night, good night. Attorney Bailey says, I actually like when you use a rock as a bopper. It's fun to watch. Sweet. Attorney Bailey says, wait till little hand comes out. Yeah. Let's see here. Yep. The Hell Gap would be in the auction. Barnett, you got nothing better to do? That's okay. Yeah. Let's see. So I don't think I missed any questions. I don't see any. Yeah, after that fresh sheds question. Yeah, I'll forget. Barnett says I'll forget how to flute after spending a year doing nothing but tips. Probably so. But I don't need to spend that much time to do flutes. Yeah, it only takes me far less time to get used to doing the fluting than it takes for me to figure out how to be patient enough for the tips. I still can't get the tips the way I like them. I get impatient, or the autism takes over and it just doesn't allow me the proper coordination. Something happens. I'm fine down here on the rest of the blade in most cases, but as soon as it starts getting up here, it gets weird and I got to spend extra time. And then I get little crushings and step fractures and stuff. It's a problem. Yeah. But yeah, I still like it. It feels nice and sharp. This raw stone, the raw stones are nice and sharp. Heat treats are nice and sharp too, but sometimes you can just dull them by doing this. You can feel that it will get dull just by, rubbing your fingers across it. Yeah. Hey, Attorney Bailey, $5. Thank you. All right, everybody. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow is the auction. Yeah, you pretty much know what I'm going to get posted in the auction. I've got a few, like 3 that are not going to be in the auction. I mean, not going to be shown, but will be in the auction. I'm going to do them off camera. Right? I've got like 3 or 4 that I'm doing off camera. All the other ones that you've seen this week will be in the auction. You already know what they are. Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.